And now you're gone. Just like that. Three minutes in, and I see somebody's there. Hello. Ooh, gurgly stomach. That's what I get for eating so late. Late eating. All right, person, where are you from? I see you on there. It says viewer. I can see it. So where are you from? Come on. I want to know. Share with me where you're from. All right, now there's three people. The numbers are just jumping. It's wild. It's crazy. How's everybody doing tonight? Good? Now it's down to two. Oh, man, come on. Anyway, howdy. Welcome to Randsanity, episode 4. So, yeah, it was a hot, exciting day. Had a lot of wine delivered today. Nearly 100 cases. 100 cases of wine. Because we have a wine festival this weekend. Also, tomorrow is episode 3 of Heinz Verified with Stephen He day tripping and me, your humble co-star, the man in the van, the driver. So that's tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and we'll get to that as well. Of all the bizarre things that, let's say, bizarre things happen. Oh, I wore my official DYFJ shirt. Now, if you don't know what that stands for, you can guess. It's the kind of shirt that you wear if you expect that where you're going to go is going to have poor service, like the DMV, motor vehicles, or some large chain coffee shop that seems to be more concerned with drive-through than it is with actual people. Just saying. You go inside, nobody's inside, and the cars are getting served, and I just want coffee. Or a mocha. Actually, I want a mocha. But that, we'll see. So, yeah, so the DYFJ. So that is going to be available on the Randsanity site. So I had to get an EIN number. If anyone's ever got an EIN is so that it's like your social security number but for a business. So you can then get a bank account, you can pay taxes, which you have to do. But it wasn't that hard. So I went online to the Secretary of State for Ohio, because that's where I'm at, and just went online. You fill out what the name is, because Randsanity. I already have it trademarked in the state of Ohio, trademarked nationally. But I can set up bank accounts and everything else with that as an actual business. So you go onto the Secretary of State website and you set up a business and you make it legit. You pay your $99 and they send you an EIN number, which is a federal tax ID. And then you can go ahead and take it to the bank, and you can open a bank account up. You can also apply for loans and whatever else you want to do. So an EIN's that really important thing, but also the key to why you do an EIN and not your personal is because you can create a limited liability company, an LLC. That way, if something does go wrong, because my shirt bursts into flames when you put it on, or something of that nature, it gives you a rash, you sue the LLC, which has no money because it's Randsanity, or whoever's LLC it is, but you can't sue the person that removes you from liability. So that's why people do that. That is why people create LLCs. So anyway, I created an EIN number. So I have an EIN number for Randsanity. So I can actually open up the account, a bank account, because I have to, where I'm going to take in all this money from my merchandise. Because see, DYFJ, now you know what that stands for, right? I mean, I'm assuming everyone knows what it is. I'm trying not to curse here because it's do your effing job. That's what it stands for. Do your effing job. Because again, you go places, and yes, believe me, there's plenty of places that do outstanding customer service. They're helpful. Lowe's, for instance, today. Lowe's was very helpful today. Lowe's is always helpful today. Home Depot is always helpful. Ace Hardware is always helpful. For some reason, the hardware stores and the Ace and the home improvement places. Do you know what this is? Yep, here it is. Boom. Great. Supermarket, not so much. Do you know what this is? I don't think we have long and leaf bags. I'm like, you do because they're branded with your name on them. I have some. You don't know where they are in the store. I don't know if we carry them, but you do carry them because, again, I have some that are branded with your name on it. So supermarket, not so great. That's a do your effing job scene, because that's how it is. Pickerington, what up? Did you find Jesus? Did I find Jesus? No, it's not Jesus. Come on. But that's DYFJ. And I'll find the website. I'll show it to you, the preview website for the merch. The picture's me when I was out at Lake Tahoe recently when I did my road trip back across the country. And I'll send pictures and we'll talk about that. Because we're going to talk about the road trip today, because tomorrow is episode 3 of Heinz Verified. Remember this thing right here, Heinz Verified. That. See? Look. Me. The guy in the van on a YouTube show that I didn't really know was going to happen. Oh, wait, see, look, you get to see what I was listening to. Lord Huron, Mine Forever. And then you get to see Pink Slip by Unbanned. Now, see, Pink Slip is a great song, okay? It was actually the last song. It was the end slate song from Super Troopers when Favre's getting the milkshake poured on him. So, Pink Slip by the Unbanned. Feel free to play that. It's fast-paced. It's got a curse word or two in there, but it's definitely one of my go-to songs, especially now with the way my life is. So I highly recommend that you do that. But this, again, the guy in the van, okay? That guy in the van thing, that's tomorrow is episode 3 on YouTube, okay? It's Day Trippin', Heinz Verified. I'll put a link on this when I figure out how to do that. I need Don, the idea guy, to tell me how to do that. He's sort of my technical advisor / saving grace when it comes to things. How's the audio tonight? We're doing better? I'm down to a single mic. I turned all the camera microphones off so I don't have any echoes. I think I got rid of the buzz. So hopefully you have nothing but pure sound. Good. Excellent. Woo! See, every day I'm going to improve. That's my goal, is to give you a better product every single day. And I'm going to try and stream every single day, no matter what. So, okay. Hey, man, you still learning? It's a tough racket, but I really do feel you're succeeding. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it, Ethan. Ethan's been on every night. Yeah, audio's getting better. So, but yes, so episode 3 on the YouTube is tomorrow at 8 p.m. is the actual preview where you can see it. And then, of course, you can watch it afterwards, and you can make comments about me. Someone actually made a comment about me making a comment because all the comments were about me and not Steven. I was like, hey, look, man, I'm just telling people to watch the show and they're making comments about me. It's not like I'm paying them or anything. looking for my wallet to get money out to pay you. No, I'm serious. I would never pay you. Oh, that's my dog. See, I'm in the basement. So again, this is my studio, my basement studio, because see, you can see I'm surrounded by tools, all my stuff, all the things in my 7-foot by 8-foot studio, which is my basement. So that is where I broadcast from, my very small basement with lots of bright lights. Because it's the only place in the house I have. So that's the way that works. But yes, the Heinz Verified was an epic road trip. Oh, see, they keep telling me I have no endpoint security. I swear I do. Maybe I don't. No viruses, please. But I road tripped. So, and I'll put together a slide so you can see the road trip. So I got the call again about being on this Heinz Verified, but I was already scheduled to do a road trip. So I left on April the 29th, and I drove to Pittsburgh, and I did a couple days in Pittsburgh, and then we drove to Cleveland, and did a couple days in Cleveland, and then I drove to Chicago, and did a couple days in Chicago. So no spoiler alerts, but here's something that did happen that was very dramatic. Driving home from Chicago, everyone flew out, of course, that's the way it works. Producers, directors, talent, all that stuff, and I still had to drive the van. So I have to drive the van back from Chicago to Columbus, Ohio. And I took one of the producer's daughters. She was she's like a social media person, so she's handling a lot of social media stuff. And I'd met her. She's super nice young woman. But we left Chicago like the crack of dawn, literally at 4 o'clock in the morning. And we had to get gas, and it was a whole adventure going to get gas because I had about 25 miles left on the van, and I didn't get gas the night before. So then we're looking at gas like in Gary, Indiana at like 4:30 in the morning because I wanted to get in front of all the traffic. And that in itself was an absolute nightmare. If you've ever been to Gary, Indiana, not the most pristine, picturesque place in the world. Just saying. No hate for Gary, Indiana, but just not exactly picturesque. But we're driving, and honestly, it's like 4:30 in the morning, and no one's on the road. It was me and a big truck, and maybe another car. So I maybe was doing 75, 80 miles an hour, and the truck, I see him hit his brake lights, and I was like, "What? Why is he hitting his brake lights?" And like 3 seconds later, 2 deer are dead center of the highway. I mean, dead center of his lane on the right, dead center of my lane, and I'm in the center lane. And like I said, I was doing a good clip. And I'll tell you what, I drove an ambulance. I actually was a medic, a paramedic, or a first responder back in New Jersey many, many moons ago. And we learned all about not rolling the ambulance. So don't do stupid things like sharp turns at high speeds and slamming brakes on and things, and hit the deer, don't roll the van. So, man, I'm telling you what, I just kind of was like, and I just slid it just enough. And I heard this, just this little tap, and I just kept going. And I kind of looked behind. We didn't see Bambi go flying. I didn't see Bambi flying. There was no splatter. It wasn't a big thumpy tap. I didn't feel it. I just heard it. But it was just a little dink. And we kept on going. Now the truck stopped. I don't know if they hit Bambi or not. And there was other cars behind me. So I can't promise there was not Bambicide. There may have been Bambicide. But I did not emotionally damage, because we then joked about it the entire ride home, because Stephen Hayes, trade line is emotional damage. There was no emotional damage to the producer's daughter because of my driving skills. And I do not believe I killed Bambi. Because when we did return to Columbus, I looked at the van and there was no marks on the vinyl. There was no cracks on any of the lights or the headlights or the blinkers or anything. So, but yeah, I mean, that was one of the ones, had I had the GoPro, on the dash, which I didn't bring because again, I didn't want to take away from what was going on the day tripping as sort of the driver and not really knowing what I could do or not do. Um, but man, I'll tell you what, that was exhilarating. There was a little bit of an adrenaline rush. But the crazy part is, so I got home and that was a Thursday, and that was May the 8th. Literally the next day, May the 9th, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I got on a flight and flew to San Francisco. And I spent 2 days in San Francisco and then 8 more days driving across the country. So I spent a total of like 18 days, 3,700 miles, like 18 states or something ridiculous, and went from San Francisco and just went everywhere. And it was just amazing fun. I mean, I've driven back from ski trips back in the day with the boys coming back from, Jackson Hole, Wyoming, or like Steamboat Springs or something. But that was 4 guys in a van. And that's, breakneck speeds driving the 24-hour drive in 8-hour shifts. So you don't see anything except for the inside of your eyelids and the world zooming by at, 80 miles an hour. But, oh man, it was a great adventure. I did drive, and I'm going to have to post this. I'm going to put it on here. I drove in a robot car, a Waymo. I was like, okay, I guess I'll give it a shot. AI is going to kill us eventually anyway. But I got into a Waymo, and it was really, really weird. I'm not going to lie, because I don't like being the passenger in a car, let alone being the passenger when no one is driving at all, which was so bizarre. It really was. The driver's seat is completely empty. You're sitting there, and it's a Jaguar little SUV thing, and it says, like, welcome, Randy. Please fasten your seatbelts. It locks the doors and pulls away from the curb, and the steering wheel turns, and it's, select your music. So I put the kind of, just driving, and off we went. And I mean, it merged. It's got a little view screen, and you could see like people. You could see everything that it saw, because it was cameras outside of everywhere. So you saw other cars, you saw motorcycles, you saw human beings, you saw their Waymos, because they looked like little Waymo things. It was just crazy. It was really, really bizarre. I mean, it did the perfect speed limit. That was nice. So it didn't speed. It put its blinkers on. It merged properly. It was the perfect Uber. And you didn't have to tip it. And I didn't have to rate it. And it didn't have to rate me. So I took Waymos the whole time. I was in San Francisco for 2 days. And it was just wild, though. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I'm assuming that, your Tesla's going to bring these out next, and Waymo's already got them. And, so clearly the technology works, because the technology for the Waymo got me to and from everywhere I needed to go. But that was super fun. Stayed in a bougie hotel in San Francisco. And then, tell you what, the drive was intense. It was wild. Went to Reno. Reno is definitely the Vegas stepchild. Was a little bit on the. It was not It was not great. It was Reno. I got a picture with the sign. The sign, I guess, was redone after a movie was made. So it was right outside the hotel. So I have a picture with the old welcome to, the biggest little city in the world, which was cool. But Reno was just a little Reno, not, it was underwhelming. How's that? As my 93-year-old mother would say, it was serviceable. It was serviceable. That was Reno. And then went to, I'm going to have these things out of order because I don't remember well, but I went to Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe was awesome. I mean, it was off season, so it's not skiing and it's not summer yet. So it wasn't crowded and there was nobody there. So that was nice. But I took this crazy road, I guess like 40, I think it was, not the major highway to get to it. And it was just, wow, scenery, tree line, forest fires where stuff had burned down, windy roads with, back necks and hairpin turns, and just you're looking over the edge, kind of one of those things where no guardrail, not paying attention, you are not living through the drive off the edge of this cliff. Um, but it was just scenic and gorgeous and like, wow, Lake Tahoe. So, yes, if you ever get the chance, do Lake Tahoe. Check it out. I guess it never freezes because it's the deepest freshwater lake in the country, or it's at 1,600 feet. And it's crystal clear because it doesn't have a water flow in or out. It's a captured lake. And it's way up there. I mean, it's like, a couple thousands of feet up in the air. So, and it's huge. It's really big. It's in 2 states. It's in California and Nevada. So, yeah, I'll do my research, but it was cool. Lake Tahoe was definitely cool. I would definitely go back to Lake Tahoe and check it out. So if you've never been, check it out. It was cool. Loved it. And then I had to go see dinosaurs. I had to see dinosaurs. Oh my God. So I went to Wyoming, Utah, Wyoming. I found the first dinosaurs. So you can see the dig. They have a little building now. You can go to the Dinosaur National Park and you can see the fossils and the dig. And you can touch the dinosaur bones where they actually first excavated them back in the 30s and discovered them. It's very cool. Again, in the middle of nowhere, you just drive down this long path into, no man's land and dinosaurs. I was like, sweet. Went to the Bonneville Salt Flats. That was cool. It was so flat. It was exactly as you imagine it is. Just, you kind of look out there and there's nothing. It's just this white salt field of zero. Like there's nothing there. Mountains, hazy mountains in the background, but nothing. And there was crazy dust storms. Like the dust that was whipping across the road in a couple spots was like a snowstorm, whiteout conditions. Could not see. Had to slow down, from doing 70 to like 40 suddenly because you're like, whoa, I can't see like anything in front of me at all. Zero visibility and then it's gone. But you can see it coming up because you can see like the dust and like the debris just whipping across the road. And tumbleweeds. The hell? I wasn't in Texas. Tumbleweeds. I hit a couple. I tried not to hit them because I felt bad for them. They're just minding their own business, tumbling across the road. But yeah, I hit a couple tumbleweeds because I was like, sorry. But yes, tumbleweeds. And then what else? What else? Oh my God. Well, Denver. Went to Denver. That was fun. I went to Steamboat Springs, Park City. What else? Not Jackson Hole. The one in Utah. Anyway. Like I said, it was a whirlwind. Denver was cool. Stopped in Denver. I've been to Denver a few times from shows. Went to Red Rocks years ago. That was fun. Stopped in Kansas City. Had some really good barbecue in Kansas City, which you expect. It's Kansas City. So, right? I mean, isn't that kind of they're famous for it? But seriously, got like this sampler platter. It was like $42. Okay. Couldn't finish it. It was so big. Normally it was $24. Something ridiculous. But it was so inexpensive. I was like, okay, sure. But it was so much food. Again, Kansas City. And I have the restaurant pictures. Went to the Gaylord in Denver. That's the hotel I stayed at. It was crazy. So big. Just like this massive, just insanely big place. And again, I didn't take video. I was just exploring, just driving across the country. We did stop in Cary, Indiana, where they have like the world's biggest everything: rocking chair, teeter-totter, wind chimes, bird cage, mailbox, golf tee. Was fun. Pitchfork. So, yeah, stopped there and got pictures of his stuff. Because what else are you going to do on a road trip except for stop at those roadside things? Because that's what you do. The car had so many dead bugs. Bugs, R.I.P. So many bugs. There was death. There was a lot of bug death. There really was. I felt bad. It took not only a moo-moo car wash, I had to use the Speedy Wash spray by hand to get it off the mirrors in the front of the car. There was just a lot of bugs, a lot of dead bugs. And it was a white car, so it really, really showed. But that's what happens. So that was just a crazy road trip. I want to do it again. So I definitely want to do more of this day tripping. So we've got to get Heinz to pick that up. So the only way we're going to do that is we have to watch it. So you must go check that out. This thing right here, this day tripping, this guy, see, me, Randy Malloy, see, YouTube. Stephen, he serves Pittsburgh, day one. This is day tripping. But I see, look me, amazing. But yes, tomorrow at 8 o'clock is that next thing. On the next thing though is Saturday. I've got a thing Saturday. If you're here locally and you want to come check something out, it is the Columbus Summer Wine Festival. It's also the Arts Festival weekend. So if you want to come down, the party starts at 1 p.m. We'll have live music and lots of wine. Like I said, I had a delivery of about 100 cases of wine today, and I curated it. So it should be okay because I like bubbles. So there's lots of bubbles. There's Prosecco's, there's Cavas, there's sparkling wines. So, you know, and then there's some Pinot Grigios and Chardonnays and all that other crap. But there's bubbles. That's all that really matters, right? I mean, seriously. So, yes, come to that. Come to that. That should be fun. Again, this Columbus Summer Wine Festival, Saturday. Now, the thing is also, remember that because the Arts Festival is going on, there's going to be lots of traffic downtown, many, many thousands of people, tens of thousands, if not more. So do make sure that you're prepared for lots of traffic, but that should be fun coming to that. So let me do something because, see, after 20 minutes, these cameras turn off. So if you ever notice me doing this, I have to put on this camera because this one shuts off. So I have to reset it manually. And I forget, wait, I think when we got them, I think it's because they're Nikons, and I think the story was that they're cheaper as DSLRs to import than video cameras. So they're DSLRs, but they'll do video, very nice video, but they only do it at 20-minute intervals, and you have to touch the camera to make it work. So when we use these for the big room, that was one of the things. If you ever saw at a big room, ever saw us walking around, someone was always touching the cameras. It was because they would die after 20 minutes, so we had to reset them. So that was just one of those annoying little things that happened. But anyway, I digress. So we talked about, let's see, we talked about road tripping. We'll talk about more road tripping. We talked about my road trip, which, again, I'll get lots of pictures of that, and I can share some of those and tell some of the stories because they were fun. We talked about Wine Fest and wine because we're going to have lots of that. I think that was relatively close. Oh, yeah, of course. Well, hey, right, the Randsanities. And we definitely talked about that. So this right here, this one, Randsanity, that's the YouTube channel that I will eventually migrate to. But again, I can't monetize it until it has 1,000 subs. And I think last time I checked, I had like 565. So if you did subscribe, thank you. I will thank everybody. I will go to the channel and thank everybody as I, get to it. Just because it's, I broadcast this late at night only for the sheer fact that, again, my job now, because I don't really have a specific job, is handyman. So I was at 4 different job sites today. Four things. So I went to the house that I'm rehabbing this morning, did some work and some painting there. And then I went over to a house that I'm doing the project management for. They're getting new countertops, quartz countertops. So I went and I shopped with them and I helped them pick out the quartz because they weren't sure what they should get. And I explained to them about the veining and about how we're going to have to get it cut. And then today is when they came and actually did the measurements where they came in and they actually made this really, really elaborate template of the countertop where they hot glued like foam core and gator core and made the edges where the cut's going to be in the corners. And it was really cool to watch. But that's project managing that. Then I had to go get the 100 cases of wine for Saturday's wine festival. So then, obviously, come to that again. This thing, wine festival, McPherson Commons. You know, it's a lot of people. I think we've got about 800 tickets sold already. So there'll be limited tickets left. But look at all the fun pictures. See, from past wine fests, all sorts of fun people. Look, there's me right there. See, second one on the left. But yes, I got new banners. They arrived today. So my new banners arrived today. And then wait, I went to and then I went to the fourth job site was working on screening in an open porch. This woman has a porch that she wants screened in, so I have to order the parts from Home Depot. They've got this little spline system that comes where you just screw it onto the 2x4s that I framed out her deck in, and you'll just screw it out and attach it. So I'll get pictures of that. And then I went back to the other, a fifth one. I went actually to another place because they had a backyard where they had a bunch of poison ivy, which I'm really, really allergic to. But I used, some super death from above spray killer stuff. And they have a bunch of bamboo, like crazy bamboo. I guess they planted it thinking it was going to be a good idea. Yep. That would be my radiator heat pump transferring the water out of the radiators. I know, old house. But yeah, bamboo. I thought they'd be a great idea. It's now taken over their backyard, and you can't kill this stuff like ever. So if you ever decide you want to get bamboo, don't do it, okay? Don't do it. No bamboo. It is impossible to kill. And literally when you cut it down, I mean, there's little stubs that stick up. I mean, I feel like they're going to go through my shoe. I have to wear like work boots because they're bamboo. You know, it's what they make like torture devices out of and, stab people with and stuff. So yeah, don't grow bamboo. Just telling you, don't do it. So 5 different job sites today, 5 different things. So that's my job, and I don't have to work for anyone in particular, and I don't have to employ anybody, so I don't have to deal with anybody else except for me all day. And of course, when I go to stores and, my service experience isn't always the best. So, but yeah, so if you want to listen to some new music, I am going to start doing that. I reached out to a couple of the record label folks that I know, and I said, hey, can I still get maybe, the music stuff you used to send to the station? And that way, what they used to do is like sometimes give us free downloads. So maybe I can even link free downloads. And if I can link some free downloads, well, you can listen to music for free as well. Because again, as I've said before, I listen to all my music for free because I won't pay for a streaming service. Because commercials are what kept the radio station going for all those years. So I suck it up and I listen to YouTube music. I don't listen to Spotify. I listen to YouTube, and I'll curate my playlists. But lo and behold, yes, I actually listen to the damn commercials, and I have to sit there and, are you still listening? Yes, I'm still listening. And I have to tap the little button, and I know that's annoying, but, bro, seriously, come on. And speaking of bro, just someone told me today that they're going to have to work with someone. His name is Slater, Slader. Slater. I'm just going to leave it at that. Leave it at that. We'll be able to share that story probably not too far in the distance, but it's kind of an amazing story to say the least. So we'll see. This may be an offshoot of this adventure that I have no idea where that's going to go. What my involvement potentially could be, but it's one of these things where literally the sky could be the limit with this. So I have no idea. I always told people that, this noise, That's the police knocking at your door at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's not opportunity. Opportunity normally sounds like this. And you have to kind of listen hard sometimes and just, hey, you want to go be a driver somewhere? Sure. Why not? So that's how that works. That's how that works. So, okay. All right. We're at 36 minutes. Now, normally the first 5 minutes are dedicated to nobody watching because I don't know how to do this yet. If I schedule these, then do I have to do them at that specific time? Because I can't really plan that. Because like I didn't eat dinner till right before we got on here. And what's it now? It's like 11, 12. So yeah, I ate dinner at like, 10:15. I had ribs, by the way, and they were delicious. I did not have a bequeat caramel, but I may do that afterwards. But yeah, so I don't know when I'm going to do these, but I mean, it's going to be at night, obviously. And if I am not able to do them from the studio, I'm going to try and do them from the phone or something. I don't know. But I'm going to really try and, like brushing your teeth, do it every day. Keep your teeth in your head. So that's kind of what my plan is try and do this every day so that I can entertain you or annoy you or I don't know what yet. You'll tell me because that's what the comments are. I need to figure out how they can make the comments broken out also so I can see them better because I can only see them if I get really close and my old eyes don't see it. Shane Rocky, we are always watching. See, that's not creepy at all. Yes, it is. No, it's all right. It's not creepy. So I have to get my hair cut. So I have a video. Well, my hair was like down to here, and I decided to finally cut it. I made a video of it, and I kind of tried to edit again. Remember, my editing skills suck. Again, patience. No, not a virtue. I have some patience for certain things, but the video editing just got boring. But anyway, when my hair was that long, I went to a barber, and I basically took a pair of dice with me, and I said, okay. I said, whatever I roll, cut off in inches. I think I rolled like a 10, and he cut it all off. And I was like, do it. He was like, no, you're not serious. I was like, yeah, I'm dead serious. I said, whatever the dice rolls, cut it off. Because if I'd rolled a 2, I would have cut off 2 inches. If I'd gotten, 12 inches, I would have shaved my head. But I think I got like a 10, and he cut off like 10 inches of my hair. And then I've not let it get long again because, yeah, what was I thinking? Why didn't any of you people tell me I looked terrible with long hair? I mean, it was okay, but it got to the point where I guess I was, kind of past that you're not a rock star, time to cut your hair age. So, so I did, but I need to get it cut again because it's getting long. I get like, crazy, crazy hair. I still have it, still grows, so I'm happy. I'm not going to bitch, man. Hey, good genes. No idea where I got them from, but I'm glad to have them. Oh, man. Let's see. Oh, God. Down there, there's Don. Roll die for haircut. Yes, that would be a great Dungeons and Dragons game. Roll die for haircut. See, I needed Don. Don helped with a couple, he's the one who figured out, it sounds like there's 2 microphones on. I'm like, no, I've only got 1. Yeah, and then the cameras are feeding it, and I have 3 mics open. Yeah, that did it, didn't it? So, yeah, Don fixed it. Don, the idea guy. Thanks, Don. Appreciate you. Maybe we'll get Don in here. He'll have to come down from, Delaware or some crazy half-hour drive to come do a show, and it's late at night, and he has to work in the morning, so. But we'll see what we can do. But, yeah, I think doing interviews might be fun, too. Who knows, making it like a band after their set, since it's late anyway. Normally they do it before, but why not do it afterwards? I don't know. Sometimes they do DJ sets. I can get them sweaty. But it has to be here, right? We have to do it in my little 7-foot by 8-foot studio. Because otherwise it's, not as weird. And I think that's kind of what we're going for is weird. That would do it, wouldn't it? Weird. So I was digging through stuff and I found this. So this is, I don't know which camera will be the best, but look at this. This is my official Ohio State University Ski Club lifetime membership for being the president and being in ski club for 4 years. So it's beat up, but yes, this is my Ohio State to certify that Randy Malloy is a past officer entitled to privileges of the Ohio State Ski Club. This property is property of the issuer, limited, and it's lifetime office-held president. So anyone that knows the stories of the ski club, it was the largest collegiate organization in the country at one point. I think it was only mimicked by the Sierra Club at like USC or UCLA. I mean, it was a drinking club. Let's get real. We skied, sure, but we also mostly drank on Wednesday nights. But yes, that was something when I was digging through stuff, trying to find things in this room, that I found that. So I'll find all sorts of little hidden gems I could share. Of course, remember, we always have, oops, let's not break the Heinz ketchup. We have the we've got Symbol Monkey. Symbol Monkey will always be bizarre and always be there. So who doesn't love Symbol Monkey? All right, so let's see. 43 minutes, and it's 11:18. So I think we'll end a little earlier. Since I've gone 43 minutes, I think we'll end a little early because I'll probably boring all you fine people. And you have lives. And tomorrow's Thursday, right? Thursday, yes. Yes, so Thursday. So remember, tomorrow, this thing right here, this, and again, you can go to the YouTube channel itself, Heinz Verified, there you go, ta-da. See, there's only 1.24 people subscribed, and there's, stuff, but there's lots of comments, like, here you go, Steven eating wings, and
we make in-house.
whoa, okay, really loud, stop. Man, sorry about that. But there's lots of comments, and the comments are, a lot of them are about me, which is really funny, which I really amused by. So, yeah. So, sure, watch it, make comments, and we'll break down the episode tomorrow. So, because tomorrow was a fun one. We did breakfast first, which was at, I forget, Kelly O's, which was just a cool dive kind of diner place. And then we did lunch at this Coughlin's, which was like up on the hill. Epic views, really cool. There's like some really cool overviews and, sightseeing stuff in Pittsburgh. I want to go back when I have more time to explore. There's a funicular, like, one of those little cars that goes up the mountain on an angle, and it looks like something from like a Wes Anderson movie. I was like, I want to be in that. I want to totally go in a funicular and be like a Wes Anderson movie character. But tomorrow is the dinner episode, and that's actually where, when we got done shooting, we actually got to eat, and it was this really, really like authentic, old school Italian family restaurant. Grandpa's recipe for the meatballs and stuff, and it was, the real deal. Those guys really, really, they were booked solid, and they really were a really nice family business. I guess they did pizza too, because they have an outdoor pizza place that I guess that had a line around the block. So, the D'Anoia's is the name of it, D'Anoia. So, I'm trying not to annoy you all, so I'm going to let everybody go. Still working on a end slate. I do have a fun, I don't know, on my actual channel, if you go to the Randsanity channel, there's a few videos on there, because I did this a really long time ago, 7 years ago, I think is when I put the first thing up. So you can see my hair when it's long. Like the opening thing is with my hair like really long, like to here long. And then it's, this little quick montage that someone who has skills put together for me. So I don't know if I'll keep that in there or not. But I need to find some sort of opening credit for this. I do have a dumpster on fire that I, lit the dumpster on fire. It was a controlled fire. It wasn't out of control. I took a board, 2x4, and I hung it inside the front lip of it, covered it in tinfoil, and then made a trough out of tinfoil, and then filled the whole trough with gasoline, and then lit it on fire. So it looked like the dumpster was on fire. It was technically, but the dumpster was empty, and we had fire extinguishers, nearby, just in case. They weren't needed, thankfully. So, that would not be great. And I do have a flamethrower. Did anyone know I have a flamethrower? Yeah, I have an actual flamethrower. And not one of these like Elon Musk weak ass flamethrowers. This thing's like insane. We'll have to explore that again. I have to go somewhere where I don't get arrested by the feds for having this thing. I think it's legal to have it. It's just not legal to use it in certain municipalities. But it's like legit shoots a 30-foot flame. It's nuts. So we'll try not to burn things down. All right. So, yes. So again, don't forget, please, tomorrow, check it out. This thing right here. Oh, there's a great song too. Mama by Rockstar. Indistinct Dwelling by Guided by Voices. Of course, Cortez the Killer by Neil Young. Wah Wah by George Harrison. Pink Floyd, Shiny Crazy Diamond. And The Shins, Saint Simon. So there you go. There's a little playlist I had of songs I was listening to before we got here. Again, Heat Pump. But yes, the whole Stephen Heath thing. Sorry, again, you're going to have to bear with me. My brain, the reason it is Randsanity is because, again, I can't focus. Okay, that's what happens when you're an ADHD adult. Focus is hard. Okay, hard is focus. That's the way it works. So you're lucky I know which camera I'm looking at half the time. All right, so that's tomorrow. So watch it. And then we'll review tomorrow night. We can talk about tomorrow night. What I'll do is by then I'll figure out how to actually have the chat so I can look at it better. And maybe I'll move the camera, this one, to a different location. Unless you like this one. If you like that one, I could leave it there because it gives you an overview of what this is. My switcher, my microphone, my streaming camera, my send and view camera, and then just stuff. Little crap on the table. But I can definitely keep that if we like it. Or I can move it and make it more mobile, or, I don't know, use that as the interview camera if I ever decide to get anybody down here that wants to be up at 11 o'clock at night and share my basement with me. Not in a murderous kind of way, because it's well lit. Unless I'm Dexter. And if you see plastic on one day, well, either I'm painting or, I've got murder on my mind. Okay, we're at 50 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and call it. So if I remember the things I'm supposed to do, I did find that before I had a script, so I knew to follow, do this, push this button, say this, thank these people, thank this. So I'll redo my script. I'll get more adept at doing this as I do it longer and longer. So, and I'll try and keep it tighter. But I appreciate everyone that's watched. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for your comments. It doesn't look like anyone said you should die, so that's always a good thing. I did get hated on tonight, though. I was down at the station. I had to throw some stuff in the garbage, and there was a dude screaming at me, calling me all sorts of derogatory things. I was like, all right, bro, whatever. I just ignored him. I was not feeling it that I needed to go aggro on this guy because I was like, whatever, man. But it was a little discerning. It was a little disheartening. I was like, whatever, man. Just, God go with you. All just wow. But yeah, very strange. One of those very strange experiences you have sometimes. Just some dude just yelling specifically at me. What are you in a rock band with that black shirt and skinny jeans? And what are you, a big? And just got very went really far fast. I was just like, none of this. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, moving stuff out of the truck, and go on my way. All right. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate you as always. This is where I hit fade to black. I leave the microphone on for a couple of seconds, and I say, thank you, friends. Do good things, and I'll see you tomorrow.